networker is like a great interviewer.
I'm huge on authenticity, guys. It's a big part of my message.
Claim your local listings and don't get caught paying someone for your local listing.
If you want to be successful, you got to do 6 things 1,000 times, not 1,000 things 6 times.
And when in doubt, give to other people and don't expect anything in return. But in giving to other people and helping them, it almost always comes back.
It's using the power of partnership, creating trusted partner networks to work with you to make your company be an offer more than just you.
They've done 90% of the work. It's your job to do the last 10% to meet them in the middle.
Don't let the fear of losing be greater than the excitement of winning.
Hi, guys, and welcome to this episode of the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast, brought to you by A Advanced Septic Services and CR Gutters. Aloha from Hawaii. My name is Galen.
I'm Joe.
We're coming to you virtually from the BD Local Studios in Tacoma, Washington. So, Joe, for our new listeners and viewers out there, tell us how our podcast came to be, please.
Sure. So our podcast first started out as a Facebook group page where we wanted to bring businesses together to kind of talk to one another, ask questions, share tips. And then we thought, what a better way than to just create a podcast around that same idea, to where we bring on different guest speakers to talk about different topics, all relating to business in some form or fashion.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And welcome to our guests. We'll do a little quick intro. So we have Melanie and Lauren. So we'll tell you guys their full names in a little bit. So thanks, ladies, for joining us today, this morning, or this afternoon, where you guys are at.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So Joe, our last episode, one of our coolest episodes we had Dr. Jen Welter, first NFL woman head coach, right? Academic and everything. What was one of your main takeaways when she was on our last episode?
She had so much great information to share. One of them for me was really just my journey as my own journey, and to just embrace my failures.
Awesome. And then for me, what I brought up in light of the Naomi Osaka stuff, Simone Biles stuff, she said, building things for recovery, not just performance. So when we had that episode, it was the middle of Olympics, and you saw what happened with Simone Biles taking time for herself. Even for entrepreneurs, it's important just not to go one speed and kind of unplug. I'm unplugging right now. So there you go. So our guests this morning, we have Lauren Gall and Melanie Ammerman. So ladies, thank you. So Lauren's a graduate of The Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm a University of Washington Husky fan, and I have some Buckeye fans, right? And Melanie from DePaul University and also Pepperdine. So welcome to our podcast. So they started a company. It's been around a little bit. We don't know much about this field. That's why we brought them on. So VaVa Virtual Assistants was established in 2011 by native Midwesterners Lauren and Melanie. They founded VaVa to fulfill the back-end support that business owners needed, but either they didn't have the money to pay for someone in-house or didn't have enough hours to give someone full-time work. So these are things we hear with our clients a lot. So they both, as well as their specialized team members, have a passion for helping business owners achieve the work-life balance they desire by taking daily back-end tasks that take business owners away from building their own businesses. So ladies, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us. This is exciting. Yeah.
Happy to be here.
All right. So before we get started, Joe, our Valor Cares initiative is something we're really proud of. Can you share some details with our new listeners and viewers tuning in right now?
Yeah, so our Valor Cares promotion is really, we started it during COVID in the beginning. We wanted a way to give back to small business owners, both locally here in Washington, but really just anywhere nationwide. And so we created our hashtag Valor Cares website giveaway, to where we give away, anywhere from 1 to 4 websites every single month. So if you're a business owner and you don't have a website, or you have a website that's, 10 years outdated, or your best friend's cousin's brother who lives in their basement built your website and you just don't have access to it, those would be the ideal people to apply. You can go to our website, askvalormasterminds.com, and there's and then there's the Valor Cares page.
Awesome. Thank you. So check that out, guys. So now we come to the part of our podcast, our Advanced Septic Pump You Up quote of the day. So there's 2 quotes. Ladies, you have to tell me who gave which one So the first one, the only true wisdom is knowing you know nothing. Socrates. So whose quote was that? Who wants to claim that and give us some insight on why you chose that?
That was mine. And I feel like it's a very humbling quote. It's something that I try to remember that, I'm not going to know all of everything, even if I think I have all the details I could possibly get. Like there's always more to learn. Helps me keep an open mind. There's different perspectives, all of those things. So it's just a good reminder for me.
Nice.
Awesome. So Laura, this must be yours. So do one thing every day that scares you. Why did you choose that? And are you scared now? Talking to us. Just kidding.
It's actually funny that you asked that because we're like, should we prepare? And it's like at this point, we've been doing it for 10 years that we are so passionate about, the business that nothing really scares us now. But I just really like that quote because it just challenges you every day. I mean, it's a challenge every single day to do something that's outside of your comfort zone, something that maybe you're not used to, or something that you're scared of, because it only helps you grow. And it's just a really wonderful reminder that like, you can't always just be doing the things that you know how to do. You have to jump out of your comfort zone and do things that, maybe scare you or you're not used to or whatnot. So it's just a good reminder in personal and in your professional life. So
love it.
Awesome. So next, I didn't put this in the outline, so we're going to throw a little curveball, but there's 3 questions we asked each of our guests. So I'm going to put you guys kind of on the spot. So you guys have been around a while, but each of you, or maybe one of you, what are some lessons learned as an early entrepreneur that you could share with our audience?
Well, I can go first. One thing that I've learned early on and that I still, still is true today is, don't be afraid to make mistakes, and don't be afraid to use those mistakes as, kind of lessons learned. It's never even really a mistake. It's just kind of like, how do I get better from this? And once I was able to really focus on that and really realize that like, you can't be perfect. You can't always do everything that, you can't always do everything right, then, I was more at peace. And so as an entrepreneur, I think it was like hugely important. So that's one thing that I definitely learned for sure.
Nice. So what's the best piece of advice that you've been giving?
One of the best pieces of advice is that I actually was given when we first started was find somebody in your area of work that's doing it better than you, or, doing it in a way that you want to grow to. And I learned that like very early on, and we, we're super well connected with a couple of people in our industry that, did really well, and we could really learn from them. So that I would say that's probably the biggest piece of advice that I was given.
Awesome. And then lastly, for either of you, why is marketing your business important? Since we're a marketing podcast, we're an internet marketing agency, our company. But for you guys, why is marketing important? Because I think one of the tasks virtual assistants do is help with marketing, but why do you guys think it's important for businesses to market themselves?
I think it's really important to constantly have brand visibility, getting your name out there, what you do, what you can offer, how you're bettering the world. And even if, somebody comes across, things online or a pamphlet you send out or whatever it may be once, and they don't need it at that point, it might come back around and be like, wait, I saw something on that thing that one time. What was that again? And then they can find it. It has your name on it. It has your messaging. It has everything they need to know. And so it's just really important for brands to grow and just be able to survive. And there's a lot of competition. Everyone stands out in their own way, but you have to make sure everybody knows that. So I think that's
right. It's that TOMA, right? Top of mind awareness to keep
exactly.
Like, oh yeah, that's that color or logo or something that resonates, a feeling, right? So awesome. Now we'll come to our CR Gutters Did You Know segment. So a lot of people are wondering what you guys do. So what are VAs? So there's a lot of people have what they think a VA is, or maybe like hearing that term for the first time in this context. So for someone talk to one of our listeners out there who doesn't know and may be overwhelmed with work. What is a virtual assistant?
What is a virtual assistant? Well, I was actually going to start with what are we not, which is a lot of people are like, are you real people? Because they do think that, we're automated. They think we're computers. They don't think we're actual real people. So we are actually real people. And a virtual assistant is someone that is incorporated in your business to help with your back end support that you might need. So it's a lot of things that, are on your desk that you either one, don't have time for, or two, you're not really skilled at, or you don't want to do. We come in, we'll pair you with a VA that actually takes those tasks off your plate and allows you to focus on the things that you want to be doing in your business, and not the counterproductive stuff that, takes up a lot of time, which as business owners, there's just a lot of a lot of people are solopreneurs or even co-founders, and they wear a lot of hats. And so we come in and take some of those hats off your plate so that you don't have to be so, frazzled with, everything that you have going on in the day. So that's what a VA is.
Awesome. So is there an industry that uses you guys more, or are there industries that you have more presence in than other industries?
I would say yes. I will also say our client roster is all over the place. But we have found that if the company business is already virtual themselves, it works really well from the get-go. Not to say they have to be virtual, because a lot of our clients aren't. And virtual assistant support works for them just as well. Also, we have a big presence in the executive coaching and speaker space. They're on the go, traveling, holding webinars and things online themselves, and classes, and not necessarily like in one stationary place. So having someone virtually available for them just really works well with that group of business owners, I guess. So we have a lot of those clients.
Have you found a business or an industry you haven't been able to help?
The only thing that comes to my mind is anything with like HIPAA compliancy or super restrictive data sharing, things like that. We have found some ways to be able to support in some ways, but there are limitations in that regard that we haven't crossed on some occasions. It hasn't come up a lot though.
Okay. So has the pandemic with COVID and everything, have you seen your business increase because people are more virtual and then they need kind of support when they're trying to do other things on their own, or has it done the opposite?
Sure. So the beginning of COVID was really tough because we're kind of like we always think we're necessary, but maybe it's not like the top needed service or expense or, money that they're spending. So if other businesses are losing money, don't have that funds to allocate towards stuff, we got cut first. And then, so I will say, as we went through COVID and things started to get back, going again, and money was flowing again, and businesses were, trying to just pivot and continue on as they possibly can. It worked out for us because virtual support and virtual work and virtual life really became a focus. And that's the space we've been in for 10 years. So eventually it worked out really well in a way. But at the beginning, it was really tough.
So Lauren, you mentioned some of these. So virtual assistant myths. So we aren't real people. We're automated. You're obviously real. So we see you guys. The second one is having a VA is really expensive. So when I think of this, like expensive, it's more like, is there like a 1 year, 2 year term when you hire an assistant? Is it as you need it? Costs, as you said, during the pandemic, is business owners, entrepreneurs think about that first, like to cut expenses, but sometimes you come in and you could help businesses actually be more efficient. So is it expensive? What's the myth behind that?
Yeah, it's not super expensive when you think about it. At least with our model and the way that we work, as long as you can allocate anywhere from like $1,000 to $1,500 a month, you can get a very solid, like you can get like very solid help. So if you're willing and able to do that, it's literally the fraction of the cost of having somebody in-house. And the reason why is because you're not paying for the overhead costs. They're a contractor, so they're not an employee. You don't have all the employee associated costs, things like that. And you're only paying for the hours that they work. So you're not paying for somebody to sit on Facebook or, go to the grocery store, whatever it is. You're literally paying for the time that they're working. So yeah, those are, definitely things that come to mind when you're thinking about like the costs associated with something like this.
That rolls into like the next one, which is I need to have an assistant in the office, because like you just mentioned, they're working from home or wherever they're working at, and you're only paying them for the time they're actually working. So they're probably more productive, and they probably benefit the business more that way. Correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, time and time again, I'm getting business owners that are like, I need somebody in the office and I need them 40 hours a week. I'm like, let me challenge you a little bit. And so, then we talk about it. And yeah, I mean, we're very productive with our hour because that's our model. Our model is being efficient. So we're not going to come in and, waste someone's time, because then they, end up, either like they would end up leaving or they wouldn't be happy with the service. So yeah.
So a business owner, because this is one of the things when we talk to our clients, like, well, how do we know you're doing what you say you're doing? So we report like weekly on some of the things that we do. Do your clients, do you provide them with like a log of, all right, your VA worked 20 hours and these are the tasks completed, just kind of as a, what am I getting for what I'm paying for? Do your clients get that, or like log into a dashboard and like look or something?
Yeah. So we have like a time tracking system on our end. So all of our assistants log their time for whatever client they're working on. And they are to send a weekly recap to each client at the end of the week. Be like, I use these hours. You have this many left for the month. And this is what I did. And this is where my tasks are moving to next week or whatever it may be. So communication is really big with our company. Being virtual, you have to be really on top of your communication and over communicate sometimes. So it's very important to know that that's happening for our clients.
Right. And then one of these on these virtual assistant myths, VAs just answer phones. So obviously that's not true, because I've gone on your website, downloaded that PDF and all the tasks available. There's a lot of things which we'll get into a little bit. This last one, so having a VA means outsourcing internationally. So they're real people, but are they real people that are here, speak, understand English? I mean, nothing against like, customer service and you're waiting 20 minutes and someone's international overseas. A VA is someone here in real, I assume. So.
Yes. So with our company, we are all US based. There are definitely companies that are that do have overseas VAs, but yeah, we're all US based and coast to coast. We just want to keep the jobs stateside as much as possible, hopefully forever. But so not just international, but I will say, yeah, that's definitely a myth, is people think that it's all, either all international or all, usually.
Right. Two types of work. I found this and it just intrigued me. So business that makes us money, tasks that cost us money. So the myth of VAs overpriced, or I don't need it, and I need someone like physically near me. Can you just go over like the tasks that you guys potentially do for your clients based on, well, actually, let me backtrack. So let's say a customer comes to you, we refer a customer to you who needs a virtual assistant, and they just may say, I need someone to help me with scheduling, sending emails, setting up my Zoom stuff and everything. At the beginning, is there like a needs assessment that you guys have that may uncover like, actually you said you need 3 things, but you actually need like 6 tasks to do. Do you have that in like the discovery phase, or, that needs assessment kind of thing?
Yeah, so there's a lot of discussions up front. So even in the sales discovery call, you go over details, and whoever they're talking to from our team, whether it's me, Lauren, our business development manager, also has ideas in their mind. You can pick up on keywords and be like, oh, what about this? Because you said calendaring. Okay, well, what about just managing your schedule overall and not just sending out the invites and things like that, kind of organizing it. And in addition to that, we have a involved, I don't know, it's not overwhelming, but it's a detailed onboarding form for new clients. They sign on and they fill out this form, and it's like asking details like time zone preference, Mac or PC, like more specifics on like the tasks they're looking for support with. And then their initial call is with their account success manager, and it's really them meeting, making sure we understand what they're looking for. And then those account managers are also really, really good at pinpointing like where to start, where to grow from there, maybe things to add later, things like that. So we really try and help as much as we possibly can.
I got a question. I just thought of something. So let's say a business comes to you that greatly needs your help, but they're not computer savvy. So like opening an email is a challenge for them. Could you still help like a business like that? Like a company that's been around for 80 years, slowly transitioning. Can you help a company like that who's not savvy?
Yeah,
where
I mean,
a flip phone is their form of like technology, right? So
do those even exist? Those don't
they
exist.
do.
They do. They
Yes, they do. Yes. A StarTAC, a motor StarTAC, but maybe not that flip phone, but
yeah. I mean, it's definitely more of a challenge for sure, but we can do things like we can remote in and show them how to utilize email. If email is something that they don't know how to do, or that sort of thing. But we've definitely brought a lot of companies into the 21st century, like for sure. And just even online organization, like through Drive or Dropbox, or just setting up a system for them. We've done a lot of that. So it's, like I said, definitely more of a challenge, but it's not something that we would shy away from. We would try and help them as much as we can, for sure.
So what are some of the ways that virtual assistants help businesses? Like break it down, some of the things you guys do.
or actually we'll do it this way. So there's a couple bullet points. I'm going to say something and you say the tasks associated with that. So like executive assistants, like what does that mean? What are some of those tasks that you guys do that would take it off someone's plate to make them more efficient?
Yeah, so we could do scheduling, we could do email management, email inbox management, email cleanup if you have 20,000 emails. We can do like document preparation, we can do PowerPoint presentations, we can do any sort of data entry if you have like a CRM that you need updated and maintained. We can do, there's so much, but
I have a few if you want me to add a few. So travel booking, that's nice. Any personal appointments or even business appointments, we can help with coordinating. Yeah, all those things like your dentist appointments, so you don't have to worry about it, your hair, like if you have to talk to customer service because something went wrong with your credit card, like, I don't know, like all of those things you can, bring your VA to help in with.
Okay, so talk to us about marketing services. So we're a internet marketing company. So what would you do? Like, we'll kind of toss these two together, marketing services and website/graphic design, since that kind of ties in. Tell us about those tasks.
Yeah, so that all falls under the creative suite, I guess you could say. But it's a lot of, social media, content creation, graphic design. So like website updates or website redos or website creation. We do like a lot of social media calendars. So even the creation and the implementation of that. A lot of people just know they need to be online and they just don't want anything to do with it. They just know they need to be there. And so they just leave it really up to their digital marketer to come in and put together a plan for them on how they're going to be online and what they're going to do based on the client's overall goals. But yeah, so it's just a lot of like your creative stuff, but it is mostly on our end, mostly the custom graphics, social media content creation, and then content writing that goes along with that. And blogging. We do a lot of like article and blog writing as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So someone can just bring you on to help with the writing blogs?
Yeah.
Is everything like all encompassed so that if they just need two parts of your creative services, they could just hire you for 2 things versus everything.
Yep. Yeah. And then like Melanie said, in our onboarding process, we're going through and we're identifying what it is that you actually need. And so, basically it's priced accordingly. And then, it's essentially based on hours. So, and we kind of know how long, typical blogs take based on how many you need.
Yeah, there might be a potential synergy we could discuss offline of matching our services, because that's something we see a lot of customers, they don't have time, like, it's hard enough for me to write about myself, but you want me to write about my business like so much. I know it's needed, like just do it for me, so.
Yeah.
So like web conference services. So like you said, setting up Zooms and meetings, and if it's like webinars, stuff like if with a lot of like executive coaches, you're setting up, how many people replied to my 200-person invite, you're managing those, and like the response emails and any updates.
Yeah, any sort of updates. And then we can also be like customer service, like chat person on the actual conference or webinar or whatever it is, if needed. Yeah, you got that. You hit it on the mark. Those are all the things that under web conferencing that we do as well.
And then lastly, real estate. So I know there's a lot of one-man shows that are realtors, but then there's all the back-end work, or even like mortgage people too, right? There's a lot of back-end work. Talk to us about how a VA could help in the real estate industry.
Yeah, so I will say we are not like an agent or anything like that, but we can do anything from listing we can do everything from creating the property listing as well as updating it. A lot of them will have us do the updating. We truthfully do a lot of like marketing support for them. So like video creation, a lot of them need videos, but then just like the content creation on the on the social media, and then back to the listing stuff, anything like on MLS and creating property flyers, creating videos, creating the descriptions, updating the descriptions, and then any sort of like back and forth communication with your buyers. What else? Meeting coordination, we've done that, or like not meeting coordination, but meeting coordination or like open house coordination, things like that. Even though right now we're in this like housing bubble that I don't even think people are having open houses because the houses are going like in a matter of like minutes. But what else? Email campaigns. We've done, I don't know. Is there anything else that you can think of, Melanie?
Covers quick.
I think we.
So then like you said like blogging or like email campaigns. So if someone is like the minimum term, like they hire you per month, or is it per task? How does that work? If a client needs like, all right, I need 3 email blasts in like 2 months, let's say, or whatever, 2 months. And then I need like 2 blogs per month for like over a 2-month period. Is it just you quote based on the scope of work, or is it like a month, like minimum, you got to pay me monthly, and how's that work?
Yeah, I'd say 95% of our clients probably are on just a month-to-month retainer. So it's just, every month you pay the same amount, you get the same amount of hours unless you up or down or lower your hours. We can do project-based support, but it's very few and far between. So if you have something random like here and there, like we can definitely accommodate that. But I would say typically most of our clients are month-to-month retainers.
All right. So one of the last questions, I just thought of this. So what are 1 or 2 things you see businesses do wrong that come to you that you end up helping? Is there a commonality of things? Like we have our listeners and viewers, our entrepreneurs. Are there like 1 or 2 things you see like the people that come to you are doing wrong that maybe you could give nuggets to our audience of quick fixes? If
There's one thing that comes to my mind, and maybe it's a general idea, but like you're still doing the little task because it's a little task. So I fall into this too. It's like, I'll just do it quick, whatever. But those little quick things add up in your day. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, all I did was just those little emails and the little tasks, and I have these big projects that I really need to get to. And so it's changing your mindset of like delegating even the smallest stuff And then eventually your VA is just going to be able to take it without direction, and then you don't have to think about it anymore. And so that's a huge changer when you can make that shift.
Right. Because is there a number of when you get a VA, like how much more efficient like a business owner will be? Like you probably get those testimonials like, woo, like I saved 3 years of my life hiring you guys because I'm not doing XYZ like 10 million times, like you're saying, right? So.
I mean, we have stats with like our company. So when Lauren and I started, we were doing everything ourselves and slowly built our team up. But when we really decided to just assign all new clients to other team members, and then also have a team like supporting like the managers and things like that, we almost doubled in revenue in 1 year. Nice. Because we were able, I mean, we just expanded our reach because we had so many more people able to do the work. You're so limited when it's just you.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for sharing that information. We'll share your contact information with on our social pages and everything. I got a lot of insight from it and everything. Just one more plug for our Valor Cares initiative, please.
Yep. So if you're a business owner and you're looking to have a website built, just go to our website, the askvalormasterminds.com, check on the Valor Cares page, submit your information, and then just a committee of people just read through those every single month and choose some winners and reach out to some businesses.
Yeah. So again, thanks to our guests, Melanie and Lauren, for joining us this morning. Thanks to our sponsors, A Advanced Septic Services and CR Gutters. So my name's Galen from Hawaii. Aloha. And coming at you virtually from the BD Local Studios in Tacoma, Washington. Thanks for watching this episode of the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast. Thanks, guys.